Hello and welcome. I'm your Geek Eric, and today I'm back. It's been it's been 9 months since I've tried Manjaro. Now, last time I started with Manjaro and tried the cinnamon edition, but while I did check probably 95% of the programs I would need to install and use on a daily basis for both, you know, fun, Steam worked. All the games that I wanted to play worked, or that I expected to be able to play. I was able to install my code editor of choice, VS Code. I installed Unity, and Unity worked. And that's the one that usually has trouble when I'm trying different versions of Linux. Now, I don't have to have Unity on all my computers, but I have to have Unity on my main computer because, well, that's how I make money. That's my job. I work for a game company, little startup, and we're making mobile games. So Unity has to work, and on top of that, I need at least one computer that can build Android builds. Another person at the company handles iOS builds, but I need to be able to build locally and test on a device, even though I'm not the one that's building and uploading. But I need to be able to build locally so that I can test for bugs and whatnot. And it started out really well. I did a quick test of Unity. I was able to open it up. I got a little bit better performance than on Ubuntu, and was super happy about that. I went ahead and said, "Okay, I'm gonna try this for 30 days." And that was on, I think, a Sunday, or it was on a weekend. And by Monday, I went, I cloned my project and started working. And yeah, Unity did work. And Unity could connect to VS Code. I had Mono Develop as a fallback. And I think I was running the newest version of Mono at the time, which I think was Mono 6.2, I think. And it was fine. .NET Core, though. .NET Core had some problems. Or at least .NET Core plus MS builds from the Mono repositories. Now, MS builds combined with .NET Core, you have OmniSharp and you have the NuGet package manager. And for those who don't deal with Unity or C# projects, very much, I'm sorry to bore you with this, but something really important for me is to be able to have syntax completion and have VS Code find all the references in a project. But most importantly, I need to be able to debug the project live. And I couldn't do it. For some reason, some combination of MS Build and OmniSharp, it just wasn't working. And I still had my laptop that had Pop! OS. It could still work. So I fell back to the laptop and I kept working. It was good. And that night, I wanted to take another crack at it. I really wanted Manjaro to work because there was a lot of libraries and programs in general which are a pain to install on Ubuntu. And in Manjaro, I could just, go to the add and remove program, and I think it's using Yort and the AUR on the back end. I'll learn more about the more I stay with Manjaro and Pac-Man on the back end. But like that combination just makes it so simple to get all the programs that I need. But I had everything except for 2 programs. I was having a problem getting Zoom to work, and Zoom is the I'm sure everyone that's watching this knows what Zoom is now that we're in the current crisis. But Zoom is a video conferencing application, and it just wouldn't work. And a few months later, I tried all this again. Zoom was able to open for me this time, but for some reason I wasn't able to get a webcam feed into it. The webcam would work in OBS or Cheese, or really, I think that's only 2 programs I checked, but it worked in both. But it wouldn't work in Zoom, so that was frustrating. And still, once again, I wasn't able to get debugging up and running with Unity and C#. But then we got the updates for .NET Core 3 and then 3.1, which not only brought up the version of supported .NET, which was really awesome. Let me play with a lot of cool features, but I think they also worked on bugs. Either that, or there's been a few new versions of Mono and MS Build that have also come out since then. And a combination of some of those updates, I think, has made it work on Manjaro. Now I'm able to, let me switch over. So now I'm able to run Unity. Unity is actually getting faster on Linux. The editor is getting more and more stable. I just have this this brand new project open. I'm actually doing a game jam for the next 6 days. Currently, we're having a long weekend at work. It's the Memorial Day weekend here in the U.S., so I thought it was a great time to do a game jam. And as I was thinking that, some of my friends were talking about doing a game jam. So anyway, about 4 of us together are going to be having fun this next week and hopefully producing a cool game. And I'm very excited. Because I installed Manjaro on my main desktop last weekend. And so far, besides my main monitor occasionally when it boots up being pink, and when that happens, I just shut down and reboot, and then it's fixed. I think it's something to do with my graphics card. It's kind of flaky under other distributions as well. It's getting on up there, and so I might need to get a new one, because I tried it with a little bit newer graphics card that I borrowed, and I wasn't able to reproduce the issue. So I'll probably just get a new graphics card after all this craziness passes. But it's good for now. So besides that issue, everything's working great. I'm able to do something that I haven't been able to do in a while successfully, which is Hibernate. For some reason, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, many distributions started to either not allow you to hibernate your system, or some distributions switched to what's it called? I think a swap file was one of the issues. I think whenever Ubuntu switched to using a swap file for RAM instead of a swap partition I think that made it where you couldn't hibernate. But either way, in the systems that did allow you to hibernate and had the swap partition, it was very buggy at times. And anything that used my graphics card would usually come back with these weird squares and off-colored, like anything that was GPU accelerated. And now that was on my video card using their proprietary drivers, and I'm not using that one anymore. So probably a combination of the two has helped that work for me, and I really like it because I don't want to leave my computer on overnight. It's just kind of wasteful. Well, besides my server downstairs, but the desktop doesn't need to be on. Like, I'm not using it. It's not like a file server. There's no reason to have it on. But also, when I like save my progress, when I finish working for the day, I want to just be able to hit the hibernate button, come back to my desk in the morning, and yeah, and just be right where I left off, which I was getting with the Mac laptop, which I was using at work for a little bit when I first got there. And I really missed that. I thought that was really awesome that you could press a button, shut your computer down completely. But I don't even think it was Hibernate. I think it was just like a full shutdown, and like programs would just come back like they were. And what's really cool is that now that I'm trying KDE, apparently KDE is doing that as well. Where like I could shut the computer down, and not every program supports this, but I noticed a lot of the Qt programs and Firefox. I think Firefox is I think it's GTK, but it does work with this. Where if I it could be Qt. I'm not sure. I'm not. There's a lot of things in the open source Linux landscape that I don't know, but I love it. I love the software. I love using it. I love the community. So most of the open source programs will just open back up where I left them, and so even when I turn my computer off completely and don't hibernate, I'm still able to get back up and running fairly easily. One thing that's really awesome about my setup currently, and this is not specific to Manjaro or KDE, but it's this what's it called again? Let's see. Polychromatic. It plus some open source Razer. I don't know if Razer put this code out there or if really awesome people in the community made their own drivers for the keyboard and mouse that I have. But I have a mouse from 2012, and I have a keyboard from 2013, I believe. And I haven't been able to before get this keyboard's macro keys to work. And here's something that I really like. Let me see if it shows up on the screen. Okay, it does. So I've just been playing around with this. If I hit the M1 key, I should pull. And if I hit M3, then I get this simple graph. Now, I might not keep these keys exactly on here, but the fact that I was able to get this set up makes me really excited. I didn't even know this was a thing on Linux. I probably could have got it to work under Ubuntu or Pop! OS or whatever. But I'm able to get this set up here, and it's really nice. Also, I'm still using this launcher, this Synapse launcher, and I love it. It's fun. I don't know, for some reason I just don't like the default launcher for KDE, Now the longer I'm in here, the more I'm tweaking. So maybe by next week I'll be able to get this more how I like it. One thing I really want to do is I have 3 monitors here. I want each monitor on its top bar to be able to have a global menu. And what a global menu would do is take this row right here, and instead of it being on this window, and instead of having this top bar, all these menu options would be up here, and the window title would be, let's say, here, and then on the far right or left or wherever I can get it, I'm going to have the exit, the window controls, and that way I'll be able to make this window just a little bit bigger. It'll use a little more of my screen space, and I really like that workflow from Unity and Mac OS, and I just want to continue that here. And I've seen some videos of people doing it, so I know it can be done. I don't know if I've seen any videos yet of people doing it on multiple monitors, so I'm hoping I can get that configured. But I've heard that KDE has just all these configurations, and from the little time I've spent in the settings, I believe it, and I'm hoping I can get it to work. Find out next week. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to make a video basically saying that I'm trying this again, and I also wanted to wait a full week before making it. That way, if I found any problems, I wasn't going to put out a video and then the next day not be using it anymore. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any KDE or Manjaro tips for a kind of new user, or your favorite apps that just help you configure the desktop, how you like it, or your favorite themes. I've seen some themes in here that are really awesome. I'm going to be giving more of them a try. Drop them in the comments below, and I hope I'll make it 7 more days. Keep watching. Subscribe, like this video. There'll be more coming. I'm hoping to do a video about the game jam that I'm in. I'm hoping to do a video about Unity 3D on Linux, and kind of where it was 3-4. I think it was on Linux 4 years ago. 4 years ago to now, it's gotten so much better.